If any of you want no part in this, just leave the room. I'm not gonna force you to stay. As for me, nothing could make me forgive this bastard. But before we do this, I want to hear what you think. What do you want to do, leader?
Maybe we should think about things.
We don't have time to wait. If we don't do this now, the cops will come back. What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that we need to investigate this situation more. Both of these are too direct. That's just going to make everyone angrier.
Something we don't know. What don't we know?
There's actually a lot here we don't know. But most of all, we have not really heard his side of the story yet.
But we just heard the guy's true feelings on TV! What didn't you understand?
Yosuke, remember what you said back when we fought Shadow Kanji? That may not be the entire truth. There's always more to people's shadows than their first impressions.
Well, what is it? I already told you there's no time to waste. Are you even getting at something here, or are you just stalling?
You hit the nail on the head, Yosuke. We are just stalling, and you need it.
Missing? Like what exactly? Damn it, I've heard enough of this bullshit. Give me a straight answer. Are we doing this or not? That's all I give a damn about right now.
And now we hit them with this.
He's right. Let's all calm down for a second.
I'm perfectly calm.
Yosuke, that is not the voice of someone who's perfectly calm.
Hey, what did you mean by we're missing something?
What's there to miss with a sick bastard like him?
Hey, let's all take a deep breath. After what happened to Nanako-chan and seeing Dojima-san, we're not thinking straight right now.
Rise, that is just perfect. You've summed up everything here.
Fine.
You're right. We should calm down and think rationally about this.
And Naoto, of all people, was one of the people who wasn't thinking rationally here. Naoto.
I realize now that we've heard almost nothing from Namatame's perspective.
Now you're thinking like a detective again.
There's no denying that this man brought great harm to Nanako-chan. But other than that point, the rest comes from our assumptions based on watching the Midnight Channel a moment ago. I won't deny that we were blinded by the heat of the moment, trying to impute all responsibility to him rashly.
But... yeah, the guy's not saying anything. Whatever reason he had, there's no doubt about the fact that he'd been throwing people inside the TV. It was him who put Senpai through that misery. How can we possibly understand someone who says killing people is the same as saving them?
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things. Truthfully, not all the hitches that were nagging at me have been answered yet. We'll have to see what he can tell us about them. Though it appears he's in no condition to do so at the moment.
True. Dealing with him right now might not solve all the things that are bothering us. Damn it. But you better remember this. I'll do everything I can to stop him from repeating what he's done. Anytime, anywhere, anything. Jeez, how the hell can you stay so calm, man? Then again, that's why you're our leader. All right, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves. Yeah, that ain't gonna cut it. All right, I'm convinced.
Thank you. I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
We all know how you feel, Yosuke. Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right. Together.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. And thanks.
Hey, you guys? What are you doing? You can't be in here.
Oh, crap!
We were keeping an eye on the suspect. The police officers outside seem to have their hands full helping Dojima-san. If Namatame were to escape, it would be a disaster for the police's reputation, and their trust in you, Adachi-san.
Oh, I see. We'll tighten security from now on, and I'll arrange for him to be transported out as soon as possible. So, if you guys can keep quiet about being in here, I'd really appreciate it.
How is he, Doctor? He seemed to be extremely agitated a moment ago.
He seems fine for now, but he really needs his rest. Outside, everyone. Doctor's orders.
Understood.
We should go too. Let's get back to Nanako-chan's room. So what's this thing we're missing, huh?
To tell the truth, there's something that's bothering me too. Why did he start killing people in the first place?
Well, he said himself it was to save them, right? So he killed his lover in order to save her and kept going?
The police speculated the first murder was related to the affair, so they called in Namatame for questioning. But everything in his testimony and his bearing, no matter what they looked at, they found nothing suspicious. If he truly is twisted enough to believe that murder is a means of saving people, I think that would have shown through.
Maybe he faked it real well. Or maybe he started out with a normal motive and got a taste for killing after the first time.
No, if that were the case, his motive for killing that announcer would be even more inexplicable. Namatame and his wife were separated at the time. Both Misuzu Hiragi and himself testified that she had discarded him. Hiragi also knew about Yamano beforehand, and Namatame was shocked to hear of Yamano's death. Their relationship was known and was not strained to the point of murder. There's simply no motive in the affair angle. The police invested a great deal of effort into investigating this point. Therefore, we have no convincing motive for Namatame to kill Mayumi Yamano.
And from what we've seen of him in town, he was more depressed than anything about her death.
Although, her name was written in Namatame's own diary.
But we also have this.
His reason for killing her.
It's still possible that he was crazy to begin with and no one realized, right?
I don't really get any of this.
Oh, this is so confusing!
Hey, we could hear you in there. This is a hospital. Maybe you should quiet down a little.
Oh, there you are, all of you. Please come with me immediately.
Huh? What's going on?
What are you waiting for? Hurry, go!
Where am I? Is this Teddy's world? This doesn't quite feel like it, though. I remember being at the hospital. That's right, Nana-chan. I couldn't do anything. Why do I even exist? I couldn't keep my promise. I lost my reason to be there. That's it. I remember now. So, it was true. Guys! Sensei! What should I do?
Oh, there they are. Nanako-chan came around.
Huh? What did you just say?
Nanako-chan's alive?
Are you serious?
It's very rare to be resuscitated after one's heart and lungs fail, but it does happen. But until I know why she collapsed in the first place, I can't say for sure how well she'll recover from here on. Still, Nanako-chan's a fighter, and she's trying desperately to stay alive.
So this isn't a joke? You're actually telling the truth?
Nanako-chan. Oh my god.
This is amazing!
Miracles do happen. I'm so glad.
I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Come on! Stop crying, you two!
You all should go home for the night. I'll speak with Dojima-san tomorrow about Nanako-chan's treatment. It's rather chilly outside. If it starts snowing, be careful not to catch a cold.
Wait a second, where's Teddy? I noticed he didn't come with us when we went to Namatame's room.
You're right. That's weird. I figured he wouldn't move from Nanako-chan's side.
Teddy, Where did you go?
Oh yeah, he has a cell with him. Wait, I shouldn't use mine inside the hospital. I'll try calling him up once we're outside.
Oh, there you are. I forgot to tell you. Don't pull that again, okay? You can't just meet with the suspect like that. Anyway, I came to give you an update on Dojima-san. His wounds opened up a little, but he's treated now and he's fast asleep. He'll be alright, don't worry. Knowing him, by this time tomorrow, he'll be on his feet and yelling at people again. Don't tell him I said that. Anyway, I heard Nanako-chan's on the road to recovery again. You guys were being so dramatic that I got really worried. But this is good news. She'll be well again in no time. By the way, you're all alone at the house now, right? Well, enjoy your freedom while you can. Dojima-san and Nanako-chan will be back soon after all. Well, I better head back. You go home too, before it gets too late. See ya.
Couldn't save. I couldn't save. Why? Mayumi. And that girl too. I couldn't save them.
Huh? What's the matter? Feeling guilty all of a sudden? Sheesh.
I can't reach him. Did that stupid bear forget to charge the battery?
We took a quick look around the hospital, but there's no sign of him. I wonder where he went.
Oh, it's snow.
Hey, you're right. Wow, it's been a while since I last saw real snow. It doesn't look that pretty, though, because of this fog.
I guess this makes it the first snow of the year. It's freezing. Let's go home. Hey, Yosuke, if you find Teddy, don't forget to contact us, alright?
I know. Let's meet up at the special headquarters tomorrow. Man, that Ted. I hope he just went back home by himself. He's probably fine, but I'll hurry home just in case. Well, see you tomorrow.
All that. We almost killed Namatame over what turned out to be a false alarm. But maybe now that we can think rationally about everything, we can take our first steps towards truly figuring things out. What Namatame's motives were, and exactly what happened in the deaths of the first two victims. At this point, it might be a good idea to save, because the big dramatic turns in the story are not over yet. Everything is just uncertain right now. Yeah, time to go to bed early.
Welcome. It's been quite some time. Do not be alarmed. You are fast asleep in the real world. I have summoned you within your dreams. Now then, your journey has taken you quite a distance thus far. Do you believe you'll be able to successfully solve this mystery? With this being the very hour of your ordeal, it may not be so easily overcome. The precise destination of this vehicle, that too is getting rather hard to judge. If we continue driving blindly, we may end up leading you further away from the mystery that you must reach. Well, why don't we take a moment to look back on your journey? It was for that purpose that I summoned you here tonight. Margaret?
What's right? What you should choose to do in life? The answers to those things lie within you.
I'm going to think about my life and set my own path.
We are experiencing the words engraved into your memory during your journey.
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things.
All right, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right. Together.
The Judgment Arcana is the final step on the Fool's journey. Like Lovers, Justice, and Hangman, it represents being at a crossroads or turning point in one's life. And like Death and Tower, represents endings and new beginnings. However, this is a decision faced by an individual who's grown much wiser over the course of their journey. They've faced the ordeals of every prior arcana, and gained new fulfilling life experience through these. The Judgment Arcana is a call for them to step up and realize their true purpose. And after all their growth, the Fool is now ready to make that choice with true conviction. Personas of the Judgment Arcana tend to be among the strongest figures of their respective pantheons, and are associated with Judgment Day myths or the Judgment of the Dead. They're among the strongest personas available, often learning light, dark, and almighty skills, having the almighty inheritance type which allows them to inherit any skill, while also carrying immunities to many elements, sometimes nearly all of them. This is the final social link, representing the bonds of the investigation team, now the Seekers of Truth.
And it seems you have comrades with you as well. Those heading in the same direction through this dense fog.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
As I mentioned previously, this year will signal a great change in your life. Though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop and reflect.
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently. Some travel fast, some change their course, experiencing countless events as they travel down the river of time.
Just so. The state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart. Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation rather than action.
Teddy's missing. I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere. I hope so. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side. We're meeting pretty soon, so will you come with me to Jeunesse?
It's no use, man. We can't find him.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there. The fog's so dense it might be affecting my readings. I wish I could do better. I'm sorry.
Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay here. I guess that's all we can do right now. He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down. He wouldn't disappear without saying anything, right?
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his return. Right now we must concentrate on the case. It won't be long before Namatame is transferred to another location. We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly review the facts. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed, Miss Yamano the announcer and Saki-san. From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted. It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
When I hear you put it like that, sounds like the dude's guilty.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering me.
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding something.
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet.
Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
Could he mean saving them through death? He did call himself a savior and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! The bastard should have gone and saved himself. What do you think, Senpai?
If we remember back though, when we first encountered Namatame, he said this.
You're the ones I saved.
Why would he say that if he thinks that saving people is the same as killing them?
If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him. But there ain't nothing normal about that world anyways.
There's something I've been wondering about for a while. When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too." So, if he saves people by killing them, did he save us too? Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Right after she died.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting them inside the TV.
Chie, you are a genius!
Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my head.
And as I said before, that has saved our lives and saved our investigation more times than we can count. Seriously, this moment right here is actually why I think Chie is amazing.
The possibility that he truly intended to save us.
Again, Naoto in overanalyzing things often misses something that could be quite obvious. In this case, maybe he meant saving literally. Nobody considered that before, and yet it makes so much sense.
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai and that announcer, right? Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed them. Or what? You think someone else was involved? What makes you think so?
Namatame's diary had everyone's names in it. Well, there was another killer involved in this, but we know his motives already. Misuzu Hiraki's alibi is rock solid. I don't think she's involved. Wait a minute. Think back carefully to the way the warning letter was worded.
Warning letter? Oh yeah. Whatever happened to that thing?
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right?
Let's review them.
Something about that just doesn't fit with Namatame's ideology.
Yes, that's right.
Isn't that kinda odd? Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like, "Don't rescue or kill"?
Yeah, and the "will be put in and killed" part doesn't make sense either. If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be more like, "I'll put in and kill"?
Hey, could this mean...
Kanji has a good point there too. The warning letter makes it sound like somebody else is manipulating Namatame.
Yeah. It's almost like someone else wrote this letter.
Because if Namatame thinks killing people is the same as saving them, he wouldn't say, "Don't save people anymore." He'd think saving people was a good thing. And on the other hand, he warned us to stop or somebody we knew would be put in and killed. But again, if he thought that killing people was the same as saving them, then he wouldn't threaten to kill someone. None of this makes any sense.
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima-san's house, right? If someone else wrote it, that could only mean...
Dear God.
We've been wrong this entire time. We were almost misled again. Namatame might have been another red herring.
Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one culprit.
So, Namatame really was trying to save his victims?
And perhaps somebody manipulated him into doing it wrong, resulting in their deaths?
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first 2 cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV. And yet he did.
That is actually true, though.
It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
Someone else? Then... it wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We can't say for certain yet. We urgently need to speak with Namatame face to face.
How though? After what happened yesterday, they said they're gonna tighten security.
I have a plan. But there's no time to waste. Let's hurry to the hospital.
Annoyed by that cliffhanger? Well, to take your mind off of it, let's talk about Loki, the ultimate form of the Fool Arcana. Loki is a very popular figure from Norse mythology and one of the most famous trickster gods. Being a Jotun or part Jotun in some sources, Loki is the father of Hel, goddess of the underworld, the wolf Fenrir, and the world serpent Jormungand. And through a complicated plot to sabotage a construction by distracting a builder's horse, he's also the mother of Sleipnir, Odin's 6-legged steed. Loki could be summed up as the chaotic neutral type, either siding with or against the other gods depending on what he felt was most fun at the time. And they considered his antics harmless pranks until his involvement in the death of the god Balder, for which he suffered a fairly disturbing punishment, being bound to a rock with entrails while a snake constantly dripped venom onto him, his writhing in agony causing the world's earthquakes. But it's prophesied that during Ragnarok, Loki will escape. In that battle, he's one of the last gods standing along with Heimdall, and the two end up killing each other. Loki's name might be derived from the word for knot or loop, implying entanglements, probably a reference to his many schemes. He also became associated with nets and spiderwebs as a result. In-game, not only is Loki an ultimate persona you are guaranteed to have if you find the path to the true ending, he's also the lowest level ultimate persona in the game by far. And for his level, I'd say he's actually a pretty solid option, having decent stats apart from low endurance and luck, and he'll eventually learn a null skill to cover his one weakness. Loki learns the strongest ice attack in the game, Niflheim. Back in P3, Skadi had this skill, and he learns Ice Amp to boost its power. With Ice Boost passed down or given via a skill card, and with Mind Charge, Niflheim can do some pretty good damage, despite the major nerf to severe tier spells since Persona 3. Sadly, Loki's skill card ability, Sharp Student, is not that great. You might think it's useful insurance against knockdowns, but you're immune to criticals anyway if you have Null, Absorb, or Repel Physical, and all of those skills should be readily available to you at this point in the game. Still, Loki does have the best ice damage in the game, which definitely counts for something.